Welcome to Girly TV. Our very special guest is up-and-coming artist New Day. You haven't heard of her, but you are going to hear about her. So let's welcome New Day. Hi guys, welcome to Girly TV. I'm so excited. We have up-and-coming artist New Day with us today. Welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. So tell us, who is New Day?
Who is New Day? So fast. New Day is actually, I like to call her my inner innocence. Actually, she is the character in which Tanisha likes to vicariously live through every now and again, more frequently than I would admit.
Okay, so is she an artist? Is she a singer? Is she a dancer?
New Day she is my inner creative. She's a singer-songwriter, and she's a storyteller. That's what she is, who she is essentially. And I call her my inner innocence is because, we all have these things, dreams and goals that we have as a kid. And then we all have things that our parents drive us to be. And so I call her my innocence is because that's the one true revelation of myself that I hold tight to, and I almost protect her. Mm-hmm. And so she started to poke her head through a lot in 2011. And then 12, she's just kind of like, I'm here, this is it. And I like to let her have her way. So she's definitely my storytelling alter ego, I guess you can say.
And where does she fit in the entertainment industry?
I think she is what the entertainment industry has been hiding for so long. I want to make New Day as vulnerable as possible. I want her to be as real as possible. A lot of the things that I experience in my life, they're very true, and I think it's just fun to live through another entity at times, you know what I mean? So this character, she helps me to really give it to you without holding Tanisha accountable, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And accountable to the truth as far as the words that would come out of her mouth that Tanisha couldn't say because people would go back to well, you can't talk because. And so I think she belongs in the entertainment industry because she will refresh the industry. It's not about image. It's not about what people want her to be. This is who she is. You either take her or you leave her. But I think a lot of people will like her. So I say she belongs here because it's time. Okay. It's definitely time.
So talk to us and our viewers who don't know your singing and songwriting. Talk to us about what influences you and how you would describe your sound.
What influences me would be my life experiences, my encounters with human beings, my encounters with nature, my encounters with God first and foremost. That's what inspires me. That's what entices me, motivates me to articulate them in stories and songs. And so it could be something as simple as when I'm on my way to work in the morning on the train, looking at all of the tired faces at 5 in the morning, and some lyrics will come to my mind, like tired faces looking in the air. Stuff like that will come to my mind, and I know it's my Grey Anatomy moment, when you're thinking about a storyline, or you feel like you're watching a movie, but you hear the soundtrack. That's kind of what my life is like sometimes. So that's what inspires me, just thinking about the human condition, the human experience, and how we flesh that out artistically, And so those are the things that inspire me. Heartbreak. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I love to get in love, love to fall out of love, and I love to pursue love because all of those things and those actions and those situations, they bring something out of me that wouldn't otherwise be there.
And is a New Day in love right now?
She's not. She's single. She had to be single to deal with all of the bad relationships that she had in the past because I tell you, it makes for great material. But I'm opening myself up to the possibilities in the near future. But for right now, I'm still dealing with the byproducts of bad decisions and trying to make great records.
Okay, so speaking of great records, tell our viewers a little bit about your songwriting process and what that looks like.
My songwriting process is very unique. I very seldom write things down or write with a concept in mind. Whenever I meet, musicians, or a lot of the times I write lyrics and melodies on my own, and then it's about finding the musicians to bring it to life because I haven't yet mastered guitar. I've been taking lessons, but they want me to cut my nails. And I waited too long to cut them. And so, no, I try, and my guitar teacher's like, listen, when you're ready to make the commitment, you'll get it done. So in the interim, I've taken lyrics and melodies that I already have, and I've kind of found musicians, but not always being so calculated, which I have the ability to do. You know, I'm a perfectionist by nature, so I want everything to be specific and, very detailed. But a lot of the times, I'll meet these interesting creatives, and the first thing I want to know from them is what's going on right now in your life, what's in your heart, what's in your soul, what's in your spirit. And they look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, didn't you just hire me to come play something? But that's just it. Like, your energy and what you're carrying could birth something really beautiful right now. So what is it that you feel like playing? And a lot of the times they'll say, oh, well, I have these chords right here. They'll stop to play, and then my emotions will connect to what the music's saying, to my soul, and that births the song. And a lot of the times I stick with whatever's created at the moment because that's what's more organic. And committing to that, I think, is where New Day stands out, is because you can't tell me, okay, well, this is what the market requires right now. You need to write about this. Or this would be hot. You need to write about that. No, I have to stay true to what's inside. And right now, I feel like crying, so I want to write about the depression that is a heartbreak. Or, you know what, right now I feel like laughing, so I want to talk about the lady whose wig is sideways. So something as quirky and simple like that, that's my process. And then there have been times where I sit down and I'm dealing with emotions. In my conversations with God, I'll say, you know what, Lord, right now I'm just upset about this. And my prayers often turn into songs too. Those would be my concept ones, but that's my process for the most part.
So talk to us a little bit about your genre. So I know that you say that you're inspired by many different things, but if I was a fan looking for you, what genre would I be looking at?
I would say pop, definitely pop, and by pop I mean popular music, universal. Everybody could relate to it because I have catchy hooks and very catchy melodies. But the heart of my music would be soul because it's coming from that place. And the third or the second genre would be folk because I'm a storyteller. And folk music is storytelling music. And a lot of people don't realize that. That's one of my favorite artists that really opened up my palette of music was Annie DeFranco. When I heard her song Joyful Girl, and it was just a guitar. And she said, I do it for the joy it brings. That was her first sentence. I do it for the joy it brings because I am a joyful girl. And the world owes me nothing. I just was like, oh, do you hear what she said? And most people are like, oh, girl, please, come on, not today. But I heard, and my mind was like, oh, people can start songs that way. You don't have to start humming and hooing and hawing and then saying, oh, boy, I'm so tired of you making me angry. This girl's calling your phone, text messages going off on Facebook. Nobody cares about that. But she just took you into where she was at that moment. So you became engaged. So I would definitely say pop, soul, folk music is what I do.
And how long have you been in the music industry?
I've been in the music industry since I was 5 years old. My father got me in the game. My father was a singer-songwriter, and, I had just been born. And my dad is a very dedicated father. He's been there from day one. I love him. Love you, Dad. But he would bring me to the studio with the car seat because my mom was still in school. She was going to college because she had me in high school. She graduated, and then she started college. And so my father would oftentimes have me and my sister. So he said, I would have you right there in the booth in your car seat. And, he said, most of the times kids would be in there crying, but you would just look up, eyes just looking at me. And, the music was starting, you just would be so quiet. And, sometimes fall asleep. But he said that let me know that there was something about you that belonged to this life. And then he said, I would have you on stage with me. At 3 years old, you'd be getting up, rocking out on the stage. And he said, oftentimes they just let you. And so I guess my destiny was chosen for me, but my father definitely helped to drive that car. That was the vehicle to get me to this point to where I am now. So I say I fell in love with music when I was like 11, 12, but I started recording my first song at 5. Wow, so that's when it started for me.
And tell us a little bit about your first single.
My first single is called Will You Still Call? And it's about the thing that dawns in every woman's mind when you meet that interesting person that you find so fascinating, and you want to follow those emotions that say, right here, right now, I don't care. But oftentimes that can hinder the possibilities of what would be if you would just wait and be patient. I practice abstinence at this period of my life because it's what works for me at this moment. But my spiritual beliefs do support abstinence as well. However, I got to be honest, that's not what's driving me right now. What's driving me is the fear of the consequences that come with premarital affairs, if I may say and be honest. The consequences, I just emotionally can't take it anymore. I'm broken because of those things. So I had to ask myself, what's more important, getting it in right now or allowing yourself to grow emotionally into who you are as a woman, connect with a man because you're secure with yourself, and then allow that to evolve. And if mistakes happen, that's life. I don't know. I can't plan that out. But if I can help it, I want to give it some time before we go to that level, because there's a chance if it happens tonight, if I let you in, if I let you get it, would you still call me in the morning? You know what I mean? Let this be the end before we begin. That's the nature of my single.
The feeling's real, I can't deny the way you touch my legs and thighs. My trigger some thoughts I shouldn't think. Lust can consume, don't wanna drink. 'Cause you might not call me once you taste. I kind of like you. I need to focus, concentrate. That's what I'm gonna do. Would you still call me in the morning if I let you in? If I let you get it, would you still call me in the morning? Let this be the end before we begin. Will you still call me? No. Will you still call me? No.
All right, we are back with New Day, and we were just talking about your first single, Will You Still Call? So tell us a little bit more about Will You Still Call and where you are from there.
Well, my first single, Will You Still Call, like I said, it's a very empowering, emotionally charged song because I really want women to think. I'm trying to get women to think about the consequences of making hasty decisions according to their emotions or their physical chemistry. The dopamine is a very powerful, powerful chemical in our brain that has a tendency to drive a lot of our decisions. Mm-hmm. And so my single, Will You Still Call, I refer to them as both words, so sorry for the confusion, but my single, Will You Still Call, is just something that fleshes out the feminine psyche at that moment in time. You know what I mean? The words start, the feeling's real, I can't deny. The way you touch my legs and thighs might trigger some thoughts I shouldn't think. Lust can consume, don't want to drink. 'Cause you might not call me once you taste, and I kind of like you. I need to focus, concentrate. That's what I'm going to do. So I want to really get women to just think before they do things. I'm not trying to over spiritualize it, like I said before, but I definitely want to have an empower women to make better decisions when it comes to their sex lives.
That's beautiful. So talk to us about some of the other songs that are on this album, and when can we expect the album to be finished?
Some of the other songs on this album include titles like Awake, which is my effort to enlighten people on what's in front of our faces on a day-to-day basis that we don't even realize. I'm very passionate about politics, not in the traditional sense, but I'm very passionate in understanding why politics plays such a big role in our day-to-day life and why propaganda plays a big role in our day-to-day life. I'm very passionate about learning about those things, wrestling with them, wrestling with the understanding, and then sharing what I think about it. Not necessarily coercing people into my train of thought, but definitely becoming fascinated with the why, the hows, the wheres, the whens. And then once again, why? That's what fascinates me. So Awake is kind of a political song for me. Another song on the EP that's one of my favorites would be The Girl in Me Cries Out. That is such a vulnerable song because I've had many times, many days where I've come home and I don't even know how to tap into New Day or tap into, my relationship with God and say, there's so much going on in my mind. There's so much going on in my emotions, and I'm feeling very vulnerable, and I'm afraid. I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm erratic in my emotions. I don't know how to express that. But when The Girl in Me Cries Out came about, I was holding auditions for the EP for my musicians, and there was this kid, Daniel, there. And once again, he said, I have these chords that I want to play. And I said, go ahead, just play whatever you play. And he starts strumming. And I was like, would it distract you if I started to sing? And he was like, not at all. And so It's Raining came out. It's raining is what came out of my brain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I can't stop from crying because I want you to feel me. That came out. And I went with that. And I wanted to use this song, but he said he didn't feel confident that he wasn't finished writing it because he just was auditioning. And that's what I mean when I say the process can be so much more organic if we don't hinder the process and be such a perfectionist to the point where you can't recognize true art. There's an artist that I love so much. He's a clothing designer. His name is I Do Art. And his slogan is, I do art representing truth. And I think that's so cool to me, you know what I mean? To do art that represents truth. That's what I'm all about. And so I often just try to pull that out of other people. And so I ended up going with another gentleman named Harrison Green. He's amazing. He's from Harrison Green. You rock. No, he really does rock. He's from North Carolina. He's in between jobs right now and really trying to struggle out here. I get his message, what he's trying to do. When I came to California, I came here with $40 in my pocket. I didn't have a dream. I didn't have a goal. I didn't have a drive. I just came here and I said, anything would be better than New York at this point. I need to start over. And he came out here with the dream, with the drive, and he's grinding. And so when I held my audition, someone brought him to me. And he didn't get to pretty much do too much during that audition, but he was one of the only ones who followed up with me. And so I call him, and I'm like, I got this song I want to use, The Girl in Me Cries Out. I sang it at the audition. I don't know if you remember, but if you have a rendition, we can tailor this thing to that. And he said, well, I don't, but I have these chords I want to use. And so I retailored the song to his rendition, and it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be. And so The Girl in Me Cries Out is definitely one of my favorites. I have another one called Extra Extra, and it's basically my introduction. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is New Day, mine as well. Get to know me now. And it just talks about it gives a testament of who I am, how I came into this game. I've been in this game a long time. 5 years old, up in the studio. No, my daddy wasn't always home because my father was a businessman. And I had a lot of brothers and sisters. I was the second oldest, but the first oldest in the house. So I would oftentimes have to babysit my siblings while my dad ran his clothing store. So he wasn't always in the house, but he was a parent, and he gave me all of the life skills that I needed to become a woman, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Extra Extra talks about that, and it also talks about my struggles, you know what I mean? So I've been singing, writing, dancing, chanting, everything. I was a stripper for 6 months of being in California. Not a lot of people know that. Started stripping. It turned out not to be for me because I learned, if you strip, that's not really something. So I started saving my money to buy drugs so I can start selling them, which I would not recommend, but I've always had this mentality of how can I maximize my time to get a bigger result, and dancing on the stage just wasn't the end all for me. But
so why now? Why is New Day coming out? 2012. Why now?
because she knows who she is and she's confident. It took me 7 years. New Day is coming out now in 2012 because it took me 7 years to gain confidence in her abilities, to gain confidence in the direction in which I wanted to drive my career. My song, my voice, the songs that I write, it's nothing like my peers are doing. Everyone's doing the R&B pop, hip hop, mainstream. And that's not where I want to go. I want to go into the coffee shops. I want to have one guitar, one mic. I want to bring songwriting back to how it originated, when it was the story of the artist, the story of the musician, and that translated into the human experience, and it resonated with everyone. That's why New Day is here, because I feel, once again, that that's what the entertainment industry could be missing, and I believe that I can offer a solution and possibly open doors for other people, other women who have talent and they don't know where they fit in the industry. Because for a long time, I did not know where I would fit. I didn't want to be like everyone else, but I also knew that my mission was bigger than being a top 100 hit artist. Although that's the goal, that's the ambition, my ambition has always been to make a living doing what I enjoy doing. So that's my goal. And if I sell 1 copy or 1,000,000 copies, I'm doing what I love to do, and eventually, if it's supposed to be fruitful to that capacity, it will become, but not at the stake of my soul being sold for fame, because fame is empty. I was a personal assistant to Columbus Short for many years, and I got to see many different people, a lot of people who I've looked up to, and the one thing I learned out of all of it is the illusion of happiness has nothing to do with true happiness. No, with true happiness. Fame is the illusion of happiness.
Absolutely.
That's what fame is. And true happiness has nothing to do with a person knowing your name. It has to do with you going home at night and the person that you love loves you back, and the people who are in your life that have been in your life since you came to this earth, they know who you are, they have your back. And that is what I was raised on. My father has very strong family values, and he instilled that in us. And as a kid, you get bombarded with that, and you're like, oh, no, family, 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 family. But the older you get, the more it becomes real, and you're like, oh, family, family, family. And so I learned that, and Columbus is a major family guy. And so that was comforting to be around people with like-minded values, you know what I mean? So I learned a lot working for him, and I learned that lights, camera, action, the lights eventually go out, the action stops, and the cameras fade away. And if you don't know who you are and you don't have the joy of just being without that attention, then you're losing.
Well, it sounds to me that you've built a lot of your foundation, and now it's time to take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
So for viewers that are watching now, where would they find your first single? Where can they purchase it?
Well, I do have a blog, a website blog. It's iamnewday.com. iamnudai.com. And my single will be released on August 8th, Will You Still Call. My EP, we've pushed the date back because I have a little treat for the people. So I was like, why rush when I can take my time? Because we've already recorded it, everything's done. But I have a little extra something that I want to give to them that I won't disclose. So you'll just have to buy it on iTunes, which the single will be available on iTunes on August 8th, and the album is to be decided.
And so you know that I'm the Gadget Girly, or known as the Gadget Girly. Social media, are you out there? Are you on Facebook?
Twitter, Facebook, Reverb Nation, New Day, NUDAI. And on my blog, I have links to every one of my social networking. So check out my blog. I share a little bit of personality. I share, new information. I do poetry every now and again, so I have some little poems there. I share some of the things I come across, and iamnewday.com will have everything that you need to know about me.
And where are you performing next? If I wanted to see you live, I was in Los Angeles, where would I go?
I am going to be performing at the House of Blues, June 13th, 2012. It's my second time. They invited me back. That's cool, right? I was so nervous that performance, but they invited me back, and so I'll be performing there. And then demand to see me in performance. Come to your house in your living room on the floor.
Thank you so much for coming. I've loved having you here.
Thanks for having me.
I want you to finish this sentence. Where's New Day in 5 years?
In 5 years, New Day will be working in her company, because I do co-own a company with my brother. It's 9 to 5 Entertainment. And so in 5 years, I see us creating a very good life for other artists, for other inspiring business people. So 9 to 5 entertainment, I see as infiltrating the business world, definitely.
And will you take us out in a song?
I shall. I think I'll leave them with Waiting. Waiting is another favorite song of mine on the EP. And I want to always inspire people to wait for what it is that you want. First and foremost, know what you want so that when you know, you're willing to wait. And so Waiting is that testament. And it goes, I can see my breath in the air. It's cold outside, but I don't care. I'll still light up as I walk through the snow. And there's a bum on the sidewalk, he's waving. He's got a cup in his hand, is he waiting? I got 50 cents in my pocket, you can have it all. I'm sorry you got in this position anyways, but I have to go about my day. And I'll try to be happy in this cold, cold world. I'll try to be warm, yeah, without my thermals on. Ooh, yeah. Hold on, keep on striving. Don't give up on your dreams. The sun will shine the day when you see the manifestation, yeah. So keep waiting.
Nude, you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you, Girly, for having me.
Absolutely.
Girly TV rocks my world. They rock my life. Totally.
Good pun, I like it. All right, guys, you met Nude. You have to check her out, iamnude.com. And we want to give a special thank you to Face Million Productions, 9 to 5 Entertainment, and Lee for this beautiful space to film in. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you